What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you today with another college football preview video for the 2020 season. And up today, a team from the ACC, the Virginia Tech Hokies. Alright, so I know what you're thinking. Why Virginia Tech? Well, I'm trying first off to run through every Power 5 team and every Power 5 conference as much as possible to see, if I can get every team in before the 2020 season. Looks like I might have more time as, it's a possibility we might not have one until, I guess, potential spring football. At least it was like that a few weeks ago, but it looks like things are looking up a little bit. It all depends on what the conferences want to do. So with that being said, let's get into this Virginia Tech preview video. Moving right along, I guess. So you look at Virginia Tech, a bowl team last year, had an 8-4 regular season. That's not bad for Virginia Tech. The 4 losses at Boston College to open the season by 1 touchdown, 35-28. Duke, you lost at home to Duke, 45-10. They hung with Bama a little bit, I guess. I guess their defense played well week 1 against Alabama. I'll look at them in a Duke preview video, though. I guess it's not too bad. But you lose to Duke at home. Then you get a good win streak going with 3 teams, Miami, Rhode Island, North Carolina, come off a bye week, lose at Notre Dame, 21-20. Haven't done a Notre Dame preview video yet, but to go to Notre Dame for a team like Virginia Tech and only lose by a point, that's something special, I think. Notre Dame's a really tough team, especially in South Bend. I like Justin Fuente, what he's done so far as a head coach. I say so far, I'm not even sure how long he's been there, but I do like him as a coach. He recruits really well. Let's see. So he started out in 2016, it looks like. So he's been there, I think this will be year 5. Yeah, year 5 for him. So you lose at Boston College, against Duke, at Notre Dame, and then you lose against your rival in Virginia on the road. I believe Virginia was the team that made the ACC championship last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and they lost big time to Clemson 62-17. So that's not that bad of a loss, considering you lose to the team from the, is it the Coastal Division? I'm not completely familiar with the divisions of the ACC. I know it's like the Atlantic and then the Coastal. But either way, they were obviously the top team in the division. That's a good thing for Virginia. You only lost to them on the road by 9 points, so you hung in there in the rivalry game. And then you lose to Kentucky in the Belk Bowl, 37-30. So a pretty good season, I guess. You made a bowl game. I think it's definitely an improvement, because you look back at 2018, and they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 6 in 2018. So, of course, that's regular season, and to only have 4 regular season losses, not to mention week 1, week, I guess technically 5, even though you come off a bye week for the 4th week of the season, and then week, looks like, is that week 9? So 1, 5-9 were your losses in terms of weeks. So you kind of had a couple win streaks going with 2 or 3 games. That's not too bad. So a good season for Fuente and the Hokies. All right, moving on past that. All right, so you look at the 2020 season, some tough games on there, man. I'm not going to lie. You look at it, open up with the Cupcake and Liberty. I hear is a really great school. It's a Christian school. Football-wise, I don't think they're that great in my opinion. I really don't know, honestly, but Blacksburg is a really tough place to play for Virginia Tech. They normally can win against teams like, that are cupcakes. Then you have a home game against Penn State. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be a tone setter for Penn State. And Virginia Tech. I think I do remember doing a Penn State preview video a couple months ago, picking Penn State to win that game, so you pretty much know already. At Middle Tennessee against North Alabama at home. Homecoming game next week with Georgia Tech. Then you're at North Carolina. Then you come off that game, you get a bye week to rest up before Boston College comes to town. At Louisville, at Pitt. Miami comes to town, at Duke, and then home against your rival in Virginia, the Cavaliers. Then after that, of course, championship weekend. So, will they make the ACC? I think so. They won't win the ACC. I think that they're still not there to compete with Clemson. I think that obviously no team in the ACC is, although you might want to look out for North Carolina as they're pretty much competing for the top spot in the recruit rankings in 2021. That's not official though. So, but anyway. That being said, I like this schedule for Virginia. I think it's very favorable. Opening up with 2 home games. Middle Tennessee is, nobody Tech, basically. So I think that, they do improve from an 8-5 record. Again, they went 8-4 regular season, lost the Belk Bowl to Kentucky. I think that it won't be a huge improvement. They're not going to go 12-0. They're not. They could clinch their division, I think. But I think that Fuente and his recruiting, in terms of in-state or whatever, is pretty good. With that being said, let's take a look at some potential losses. I think they open up winning against Liberty. Again, great school. I'm not sure about their football team. Doesn't look like they're that great. So you should have no problem there. Penn State comes to town. I like James Franklin. I like Penn State. I think they're going to be competing for the Big Ten East this year. They could even win the Big Ten East, in my opinion. I think Ohio State gets it this year, but don't sleep on them too much. So you'll lose that game. Could you hang with them? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know how close people expect that game to be. I get it's in Blacksburg, but I just don't think Virginia Tech will have enough to pull an upset there. At Middle Tennessee, that's in Murfreesboro. I don't know how you say that. At Red Floyd Stadium. Should be no problem. I'm not sure how they are at home. I don't really know anything about Middle Tennessee. It's a cupcake, but again, I like Virginia Tech this year to have some improvement. I'm not going to sit here and say Middle Tennessee is a trap game. Come on, I'm not going to say that. I think you could win that. North Alabama comes home. comes to your hometown in Blacksburg, North Alabama. Who? Somewhere in Alabama. The North Alabama Lions, everybody. Yeah, not happening. You're not losing that game. You'll be good there. Georgia Tech. This should be interesting. Homecoming game. This is home for you guys. Georgia Tech is down in the dumps. Georgia Tech last year, and of course I'll do a preview video on them. But let me look real quick. Spoilers for that, yeah. In 2019, Georgia Tech just got beat. They didn't even make a bowl game. They had 3 wins. They went 3-9. You know what their 3 wins were? USF, at Miami in overtime, and then NC State. All of which are not that great. So, so you could win that game at home. At North Carolina, we remember North Carolina from last year. Clemson hung with them. They almost beat Clemson. A failed 2-point conversion at the end of the game saved the Clemson Tigers, and they survived that. How it got there, I don't know. And again, you look at North Carolina, they're recruiting really well. They're going to be a team to look out for in the ACC, I think. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win ACC championship after ACC championship, but I do think that recruiting-wise, they look like a team that's going to recruit well in 2021. I think they're sitting pretty close. If they're not number 1, they're at least number 2 at the top of the rankings as of right now for 2021 for the class. So, and this is a road game. If this were in Blacksburg, I would give it to Virginia, but I think North Carolina is really good at home again. Chapel Hill. They almost beat Clemson last year. Probably should have. So I like North Carolina there. You come off a loss, you get a bye week. Boston College should be no problem. Boston College is a team that could compete, I guess, to get 6 wins. But it could be a close game, and Boston College could go on the road to Blacksburg and pull an upset. Maybe, but I think they could pull it off. I think they could go to Louisville and pull it off, and win there at Cardinal Stadium against Louisville. So I could see them. They come off. Well, actually, Louisville is good at home. I don't know. This is tough. Do I really want to bet on Virginia Tech coming off a home win against Boston College, going to Louisville? Cardinal Stadium's tough. This is on Halloween, so sorry about that. Hit something. But anyway, where was I? So, counting the losses this year. Let me do a quick recap because I had to pause the video. But I'm back now, so I think, again, you look at Virginia Tech, went 8-5 last year, bowl loss to Kentucky, so an 8-4 regular season. I think they improve. I like Fuente as the coach there so far. I think he's going to do well, and I think they lose to Penn State. Penn State's a great program, far better team, and even no matter where this is, I think Penn State could beat Virginia Tech. This is in Blacksburg. Again, it's a tough place to play in the ACC. Could they hang with Penn State? Maybe. I think that's going to be a statement game early to see where this team's at. If they do something like we saw with North Carolina and Clemson last year, and it comes down to like a missed field goal or whatever, and Penn State wins it, or whatever happens, if it's close and they lose this game, that's a statement game right there, because Penn State's a great program, and I expect them to, again, I expect Penn State to win, but I could see them keeping it close, and even if that happens, they can build off that. win or lose. At North Carolina in Chapel Hill, again, I just mentioned Clemson with North Carolina last year. Almost lost that game, probably should have. This is in Chapel Hill. If this were at home, I'd give it to Virginia Tech, but it's on the road, so I'm going to give it to North Carolina. And at Louisville, Louisville last year, I think, played Virginia Tech, and or no, they didn't. So this is your cross-division opponent, not necessarily a rival, but it's, I think Louisville's good at home. Virginia Tech could win, but I think that coming off a home game against Boston College, plus prior to that you have a loss to North Carolina, that's tough. So I think I'm going to give it to Louisville. And with that being said, I think Virginia Tech Hokies, the Virginia Tech Hokies, I should say, in 2020 will go 9-3. Again, those losses: Penn State at home, at North Carolina, and at Louisville. But you win all but one home game. You get back-to-back home games at North Alabama and Georgia Tech, September 26th and October 3rd. That should be no problem. So I like Virginia Tech this year. And, they could pretty much clinch their division. And in the Coastal, and play Clemson from the Atlantic. The Atlantic Division, yeah. So, anyway, that's it for this preview video. I know I got at least one Hokie fan, Hokie for life. Let me know what your thoughts are, man, about the Virginia Tech Hokies 2020 preview video. Other Hokie fans, let me know what you think. Comment down below if you think you guys are going to take a big step back or step forward, why you would win the ACC and beat Clemson. Please let me know. I would love to argue with you. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You can also hit the bell to get notified when I post a video like this and go live and everything. And that's pretty much it. More preview videos to come as we get closer to the football season in the fall. Assuming we get one, hopefully we do. And that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Y'all have a good one.